Hello, fellow gamers, and welcome to the Video Gamers Podcast. Sometimes the best part of gaming is just chatting with your gaming buddies about the latest news, upcoming game releases, or diving into a fun topic. It's the fun, lighthearted chat that gamers know and love, and that's what we do in our side quest episodes. Before we get into today's show, though, some introductions are in order. I am your host, Josh, and joining me, he's still fumbling around with his controller trying to input his password so we can start this recording. It's Ryan.
Hey, everybody.
Using that inferior device there, are you, Ryan?
Yeah, well, allegedly. This one ruling. I still got my appeal process. Don't worry.
Okay. All right. And joining us, a man that has the entire world of PC gaming open to him now. Let's all give him a hearty welcome to the PC Master Race. It's John.
It's funny that you say that. And the first game that I played was Cairn, which should be played on a controller. And I'm currently playing Halo Infinite, which you've been able to play on Xbox forever. So, but still haven't cracked it open quite yet.
Halo Infinite's a great game to learn mouse and keyboard on, though. Honestly, because
I'm using a controller.
Yeah, smart man. Yep.
What am I supposed to do with you two, man? Legitimately, what am I like? You guys have PCs. Grow up. Use the mouse and keyboard, man. Get good. Ryan's always telling me, "Get good, scrub." Ryan, get good. Scrub. John, get good. It's you need some uncomfortableness to get better. You know, pain is weakness leaving the body. Deal with the pain of not feeling like you know what you're doing with the mouse and keyboard so that you can then be great at video games.
I will give mouse and keyboard a try, but not with this. What I wanted from Halo after playing a couple of games that I was like, playing the altars, frankly, where I didn't have a lot of fun. I was like, I need to have fun playing a video game. And
well, that is why we play video games.
Yeah, exactly.
We do?
Right.
What?
Yeah. All right, it's fair. I'll take my little victories where I can get them.
One day, someday soon.
Yeah. So guys, before we get into this side quest episode, we do have to thank a new supporter of the show. So a huge shout out to Shake and Baker for signing up for rare status, hopping in the Discord server. It is awesome to have you with us, and thank you for supporting this podcast. Also left us a really awesome review on Apple Podcasts, too.
What a guy.
Don't know if you guys saw that, but we'll get to reviews in another episode, because we got a lot of questions to tackle on this one. And guys, one of the favorite questions that I have for you guys, anytime we get a chance to do this, is what have you guys been playing lately, man? John, you mentioned Halo Infinite.
I'm playing Halo Infinite right now, and I haven't played a Halo campaign since I think ODST. And am I loving it, dude. You talked about the music in the game recently in an episode, and like just hearing all of the Halo themes and just how smooth and buttery the controls are. Oh god, it's the nostalgia bomb I needed right now after my funky experience with the altars. It's great. I will say there are some parts of it that are absolutely infuriating, but overall having a really good time with it.
The Halo Infinite is a very good game, dude. Co-op. You can play co-op multiplayer too, so if you got a buddy to hop in with, that makes it a lot of fun. But how are you feeling about the grapple hook?
I love the grapple hook.
The grapple hook is amazing.
It's so
the
fun.
only thing that I'm not liking is that I've had twice now where the environmental trigger to be able to like get me past a certain point didn't spawn, and I had to stop the game and restart the game so that it would like resolve the bug. Like I don't know how much you remember the game, but like there's these spires that you go into that have like kind of levels built into them. Well, one of them had a couple of is supposed to have a couple of the hunters and like one of those hand things where you put the weapon into.
Yeah.
And none of that was there. It was just on the platform, and it was like barren, no hunters, no hand trigger or whatever. And I was like, what am I supposed to do here?
And I know that part you're talking about.
I fumbled around it for probably like half an hour and then ended up looking it up online. And I was like, mine doesn't look anything like that. So I stopped the game, restarted it, and it came up. But I was quite upset at that point. But other than that, doing great.
So you're going to be ready for our next, when we do another Halo Infinite community night, John's going to be ready to rock.
I think I'm going to be far better prepared now, yeah.
Yeah? I like it. What about you, Ryan? What have you been playing, man?
I'm still dabbling in the altars a little bit here and there. I actually, for the first time in a while, had shut my computer off 2 days ago that night, and I did not turn my computer on at all yesterday. It was like a little reset, and it felt good. I just hung out with the family, hung out with the kids. We hung out and had dinner and played games and Mancala and all that.
Isn't it funny how we need that sometimes?
It is.
I think
how
it was
we need real life.
I think it was Spoons that I was chatting with in DMs, and they were saying like just nothing is catching me, dude. Like especially after Expedition 33, which is this is the hard part when you play like a game of the decade kind of game. Is everything else kind of falls short, man. And then you kind of go like, what am I supposed to do? Like nothing is grabbing me like this game was. And you want that feeling again. And that's when I just said palate cleanser, dude, like play Doom. And he was like, I did. And I didn't like it. And it's like, I mean, sometimes you just got to shut it down for a few days, like go do something else. And then it resets that like gaming desire, I guess. I mean, we all get there, man, for sure. So
I'm totally in the opposite mode right now. I'm like Halo.
Yeah,
like I can't make enough time in my day for it.
Yeah, but that's good too. Is like there's times where it's super fun to just crack out on a game all weekend long, man. Like sometimes it's like, bro, I put 14 hours into this game over Saturday and Sunday. Like, and that's awesome. But then there's other times where it's like, dude, nothing is registering with me. I cannot find a game that I like at all. Bro, just go take a couple day break, man. And you'd be surprised what that can do.
Yeah,
it'll
definitely help. But I will say, other than the altars, I've also been playing Remnant 2
this is
with
where I was
you,
going,
brother.
Ryan.
And I know that's why you asked, because you wanted me to talk about it. But I have been playing Remnant 2 with Josh and Ace. They finally got me to boot it up, and I'll let him ask any questions he wants.
I just want to know what your thoughts are, Ryan.
Bro, it's freaking sweet, man.
Yeah, it is.
Dude, it's so good. Yeah, it's so much fun.
Awesome, dude.
Why did it take this long for you to convince me? What the heck is wrong with you?
Dude, okay, so here's the thing. So for people, we just got through the Labyrinth, which was one of the most insane I've said many times that it's one of the best boss fights in a video game just because of how unique it is.
Yeah.
We are having an absolute blast. I cannot wait to play more with you at this point because there's so many more cool things to experience, dude.
Yeah.
I am absolutely loving it. I've had the itch to dive into Remnant 2 again, so playing it with you and Ace. We're trying to get John in there. We're like, John, hurry up and finish Halo so you can play with us a little bit.
But then I've got the next thing. Man.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. This is, when people are like, guys, you guys just play a bunch of video games. Like, bro, you know how hard it is sometimes to have to play games when you want to play something else and you can't? And it's like, I got to do my homework and play this game. And I just got done with The Last of Us. We do have another Hijack a Host that's coming up here in a little bit. I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody. It's one of us. And it is an interesting game that somebody picked. That's all I'll say about that. So that's what I've been playing. I really haven't been playing anything other than Last of Us, Remnant 2. So let's get into some of our questions, guys, because this next one kind of ties into this. And we have had some people ask, this is a major game release that literally released the day that they're recording this. Now we're recording this episode a little earlier than we normally do for most episodes. Death Stranding 2 released today. It is June 26th. The game fully released today. It is getting fantastic reviews. It's sitting at a 90% on Metacritic right now. None of us have played Death Stranding. Is that correct?
Correct.
Are any of you interested in Death Stranding? Not Death Stranding 2, but Death Stranding.
I have some interest, but probably I've got so many games in my backlog. It's probably going to stay there. I have some interest, but I'll probably just end up watching the cutscenes.
Ryan, this is a Hideo Kojima game. You love Kojima.
I do like Kojima, quite a bit. Oh, man. But I also know the time invested in Kojima games, and they're usually quite a bit and long cutscenes. Well, cinematic, they do take a while. I would probably be the guy that would watch all the cutscenes for Death Stranding 1 and then play 2.
So, but 2 does interest you?
It does actually. Actually, especially with all that I've seen come out today and the praise it's been getting, and just the goofy nature that Kojima has, and a lot of his games are always similar with just the obscure, crazy nature of them, and he just followed suit. It's got his thumbprint all over it. So immediately what I saw made me feel kind of warm and fuzzy and at home. So I probably will check it out.
John, you have been kind of pushing for us to play Death Stranding 2.
I'm into it, man. I watched the whole trailer again today. I think it looks awesome personally, and I've heard really good things about it. There's certain parts of it that look totally over the top.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I'm into it, man. And I'm curious to see if this is a good walking game for me. I play games on my treadmill quite a bit. And like the first one was, kind of like written off as a walking simulator, and I'm like, oh, I could like play a walking simulator while walking. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if it's workable.
What's really funny is today I've seen a couple just videos that people posted because the game released today, and so it's like, and they're like, guys, I know people said that Death Stranding 1 was a walking simulator, but this is peak gameplay in Death Stranding 2, and then it's just you see the guy running and carrying a whole bunch of packages. I'm like, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, man. I will say I am actually getting more and more curious about Death Stranding 2. This is a major release. I've always been curious about Death Stranding. I do not think I'll like it. Like, legitimately, this is one where I don't think I'm going to like the game. But kind of getting that really curious, like, maybe we should play it, man.
Deep dive.
Yeah, I feel like John's going to wear us down on this one, man. Like, honestly. Because there's really nothing coming out in July, man. Not
really.
So,
yeah.
That leads us to our next question. You see these awesome transitions I'm doing?
That
here, guys?
segue, top notch, buddy.
Because the next question is, what game that releases in July are you most excited for? Now, just because the listeners can't see this, I'm going to give them a rundown of some of the games, all right? So we've got Mecha Break, Patapon 1 and 2 Replay, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, that's probably up there, Donkey Kong Bonanza for you Switch 2 owners, Shadow Labyrinth. I need to look that up because that name just rang a bell in some recess of my brain. Wildgate, which we played a lot of the open beta.
Yeah.
Wheel World, I have no idea what that is. Killing Floor 3, which we played Killing Floor 2. It's just a fun multiplayer shooter, like ridiculous game. Super Mario Party Jamboree, Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, No Sleep for Kanem Date, From AI, The Somnium Files. Boy, is that all one name?
That's
shorten your name, people. Shorten your games' names.
That's a long
I thought that
name.
was 2 different games on a line there. Grounded 2, Tales of the Shire, Ninja Gaiden, Ragebound, and Code Violet. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I recognize about half the games on this list, and there's really only 2 that jump out to me. I'll start off. I am super excited to play Grounded 2. Like, super excited. Grounded was fantastic. I love survival crafting games. Grounded 2 looks like it is going to be incredible, dude. So that's my pick.
I was going to say Tales of the Shire, but it's...
I don't think that game looks bad, John.
Well, yeah, I mean, it looks cute and cozy, and I am a sucker for anything Middle Earth, and so I'm going to be playing that. But actually, Code Violet looks pretty awesome. There is a Jurassic Park survival horror game that's on the horizon right now. I think it's literally called Jurassic Park Survival or something like that. And this is one of those games where they seem to be sneaking in with a very similar sort of gimmick or whatever. But Code Violet is a third-person survival horror with dinosaurs, and it looks pretty slick, man. I mean, I think it's going to be pretty cool.
It's that shows PS5 only though, so
bummer, you'll miss out.
Well, the other issue too, I said Grounded 2, but here's the thing, man, is that Grounded 2 is actually releasing in like early access kind of thing. I think they're trying to call it something else, although they did say that the early access will be the entire size of the backyard of Grounded 1, which is plenty of content. So we'll see. Honestly, if it's not Grounded 2, then it's probably going to be Death Stranding 2. July is just not that good of a month, man.
It's not that exciting.
What's your pick on this one?
I mean, I had a lot of fun with Wildgate. I don't know how excited I am with it. But I mean, you can't go wrong with Tony Hawk.
Here's the problem. We had a lot of fun with Wildgate,
Yes.
but the problem is towards the end of the beta, the sweats were out in full force, and it just made it to where it was like, is this ruining part of the fun?
You know why? You know why that we didn't do well, man? It's because we never got to ramming speed, and you wouldn't let me.
Gosh.
And it was
Oh
all
my
your
gosh.
fault. And that's all we
Okay.
want to do. And anyone that watched the stream knew, because all we had to do was get to ramming speed, and we would have won.
Sure,
Yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah.
All right, ramming speed, buddy. That's what you want. That's what you get, man.
That's how you win the game.
All right, guys. I'll tell you what. We got a lot of questions to get to. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back. We got a couple questions from listeners here too, and I like these. So we'll get back to these here after this short break. All right, we're back, fellas. Time for a host question. I like these, man. This one comes in from Morgal. I'm just going to call you Morgal forever because I know people say it's Morgo, and I
Morgo?
cannot,
Yeah.
I
It's
cannot
Morgo, dude.
change my brain on
I know
this one,
it's
so.
hard for me, and I
Yeah.
have to intentionally do it.
No. And I thought about it. My brain was like, it's Morgal. And I'm like, I'm not saying that.
You
Shut
know
up,
what?
brain.
That's
It's
what I'm gonna
Morgal.
do too.
Yeah, it's Morgal.
All right,
so
like it.
this one comes in from Morgal. This is kind of funny, guys, because we were chatting about this the other day.
Yeah.
And it said, if you couldn't talk about video games anymore, what themes would you podcast about? Personal preference here, guys. Not what you think could be the most successful, not what you think people would like the most. What would you like to podcast about?
I mean, I would podcast about virtually anything nerdy and or food related, or travel. If I had to pick one, probably Warhammer.
Warhammer podcast? Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I love Warhammer. For anybody who hasn't dug into the lore is the best fictional IP that exists, in my opinion. There's something in there for everybody. It's just so rich and deep, and it can be lighthearted and it can be dark, the darkest that you could possibly imagine. And it's just cool, man. I've got, 30 plus years of bias towards it, but plus I think there's a bit of a void in that space. There's a few good podcasts out there for Warhammer and Games Workshop content, but I feel like I could actually contribute something to that.
Would you just cover everything? Would you do mostly lore? Would you do strategy in the tabletop gaming portion, or like?
Probably mostly lore and basics. My tabletop gaming habits are not dissimilar from my video gaming habits. Like, I'm not a sweaty player at all. People who are super sweaty tabletop gamers will absolutely destroy me on the tabletop. I've got a good, fundamental strategy, and I think that the way I play would make the game quite accessible for newcomers, especially people who are like overcoming the stigma part of it. Like, I think there's a lot of people that don't get into tabletop because they go like, what kind of people am I going to be playing with?
Nerds.
And like, how are people? Yeah, exactly.
Nerds.
How are people going to view me?
How
And
they
I'm like,
smell.
man, dude, yeah. Like, I think I could probably get people over that hump.
All right. Ryan, what about you, man? What would you what topic, if you couldn't do video games, would your podcast be about?
I would probably make it about the outdoors. Just in general, like, I love to hunt, I love to fish, I love to camp. So just general outdoorsman stuff. And then I get to like do it as work, for the podcast would be awesome for me. Just I'm just going to go out into the forest.
Ryan's just has a full podcast set up in the woods.
There you go.
I could see it.
Welcome to the northern woods of Arizona today. Well, if you we see a deer out there. Look at that. Look at that beautiful animal.
It's a beautiful
It's
76 degrees.
Yeah, that's if I had to sight that in, I'd say that's about 50 yards out. Yeah, boom.
We're having deer tonight.
I have always said, for me personally, I would love to have like an advice podcast. It's a weird thing. Like, people joke around and say that I've lived like 100 different lives. I've had a slew of different really cool jobs in my lifetime. We've moved all over the country. I have done a lot of really dumb things and learned some valuable lessons from that. I have done a lot of really cool things and successful things and learned some lessons from that. I have kids that are almost grown up now. I'm fairly handy. I'm very tech savvy. Like I feel like it just like there's like I don't know, man. And I love helping people is the thing. So like there's the part of me, like, I don't know if it's the dad side or like the older guy with maybe a little bit of wisdom side, but like there's just like, I don't know why. That's the first thing that comes into my brain is it's like, if I could have like an advice podcast where people, you know, write in with questions or issues or things like that. And it's like, you could talk them through it and help them out or something. I just think that'd be really neat. So
Neat.
yeah, I don't know how successful that would be. And then the first piece of bad advice, people would be like, "This guy
It's
sucks,
all your
man.
fault, man.
You
What
told
the
me to
heck?"
break up with her, and now she hates me," and something. So yeah, who knows? All right. Okay, guys, a game question. This one's tough, boys. You get to pick one game to be released tomorrow, which is Friday, so you get all weekend to play it too. But the others will never be made. Which are you picking and why? And I made this tough. Your three choices are The Witcher 4, The Elder Scrolls 6, and I'm just going to say the next God of War, which we kind of think and hope is going to be Egyptian-based. So we'll just say I'll call it God of War 3, but it's like, that's kind of tough because it's like, you know, God of War 3 already exists, but I don't know what the heck to call it, boys.
God of War Egypt.
God of War Egypt. There you go. Okay, so you have to pick one and you get to play it, but the others will never be made.
Ooh, that's tough.
That's really
tough.
hard.
Well, yeah, because now you're saying that these are, I'll say I at least have some history with God of War. I've never actually played, like the last Elder Scrolls game I played was Morrowind.
What?
And, yeah, and
Hijack a host, people.
I've never played a Witcher game.
What?
But Witcher 4 looks, I mean, we've only seen cinematics, but it looks awesome. And I'm thinking that there would be like far more hours that you could put into Witcher 4 than God of War. And so I'd probably have to say Witcher 4.
I can't believe he's.
I can't.
I'm blown away right now.
This is, dude.
Your backlog is
Witcher
growing,
3,
dude.
So,
I'm
Ryan,
telling you what.
Do you think Witcher 3 would hold up still to a fresh playthrough? Like if John was to sit down with Witcher 3 like tomorrow.
I'm sure they have texture packs and mods that he could play with too. For
it's
for
more
PC.
the combat that starts to feel that's the,
The
only
combat.
part of
Okay,
Witcher 3.
but to be fair to Witcher 3, the combat was never that amazing.
That's true.
Like it was
That is
always
true.
kind of janky. It was probably the worst part of the game, even though it was still fun. It was like the least enjoyable part. But I would say,
Sean.
dude, like just when I did my top 10 like videos that I was doing for a little bit, and I was looking up gameplay of Witcher 3 just for the video of it, and I'm like, I want to immediately play this again.
Yeah.
Like that's immediately psyched me up.
Okay, yeah, but do I play Witcher 3 or Red Dead 2?
Red Dead 2.
Do I play Witcher 3 or Cyberpunk 2077?
Witcher 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh,
okay.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, Cyberpunk tickles me from a personal interest.
I would say
aesthetic.
Cyberpunk.
I'll put it this way: as no shade to Red Dead, and no, I'm not trying to throw out the 7 out of 10 gameplay thing. Ryan's rolling his eyes already, but to me, Witcher 3 is more memorable of a gameplay through than Red Dead is. Yeah, bro, the side stories in Witcher 3 are the best in gaming, dude. The best. Like,
Whatever.
Yeah.
Carry on. I'm not calling your advice show. I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
Well, what
All
about
right,
you,
well, what are
Ryan?
you picking, Ryan?
Out of these three, I am as much as I
Lose
love
the other two forever. Is the
I know,
problem.
I know, and that's the problem. I'm really happy with my experience with Witcher, and you're done with kind of Geralt in Witcher 4. He's kind of Ciri's time to take over. As much as I like her and like her as a character, and God of War, same thing. Kratos is really old. You know, Atreus is getting up there now. He's kind of a young man. I just feel Elder Scrolls has so much potential future kind of pathwise where they can take it wherever they need to. And it's also, I mean, Skyrim's one of my favorite games ever. And that's one of those games you could play for 12 hours and not notice the time go by. So, yeah, I'd have to go Elder Scrolls.
Really?
Yeah.
We know where Josh is going.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Because I have to. So, Ryan, the one question is,
Okay.
are you losing faith in Bethesda at all after Starfield?
Bethesda
Like,
gonna
that's my
Bethesda,
concern,
man.
dude. That's my concern, right? With Elder Scrolls 6, is this just going to be Bethesda doing the same thing they've always done? Like, in my brain, and I know in your brain, we want to think this is the future, right? Like, this
Yeah.
is the future of Elder Scrolls, but it's like, bro, Starfield was supposed to be the future, and it freaking wasn't, man. You know? So it's
Yeah.
like,
That's a tough one, man. But I mean, Starfield was kind of something new, and they were still trying to keep the core of Bethesda and that identity on how they design games. But it was a new IP, and it didn't hit the mark. It was still a really good game, and I loved it. I had a ton of fun with it, and I'm sure a lot of people still are. But I really feel that an Elder Scrolls is like kind of their bread and butter, and that's what they know, you know. And they, you know, same with Fallout. But I mean, I guess those are just like, they know that. That's what they can do in
I
their
just
sleep.
want them to update it, man. I want that next gen
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Just a
That's
little
my
bit,
only
though.
worry.
Don't change
Did,
it too
did
much,
either of
please.
you guys play the Oblivion remaster?
Oh, yeah.
Ryan did.
Yeah.
I jumped in for a
It was
little
so
bit,
good.
looked at the visuals, made it out of the sewer, went, wow, this looks really good. And then I went, what the heck am I doing? I don't have time for this.
I got sucked right back into it, dude. It was
Yeah.
just as amazing, and then better because it's updated, you know, as I remember. I'm not a psycho like Greg and went and 100%
Went 100% it all.
like everything else he's
Yeah.
doing on his rampage.
Well, to prove you guys wrong, because you don't know me, I would actually pick The Witcher 4 on this.
That's
as
what I would've
much
said you
as I
would.
love God of War, the issue here is that I really want to see the next evolution of the Witcher series.
Yep.
They look. Now, I know it's a tech demo, and we said, hey, it's a tech demo, people, but what they're shooting for with Witcher 4, to me, absolutely blows my mind. I love God of War 2018 and Ragnarok, like very few other games out there, but I'm also kind of content with what I got out of those, and I think I'd be okay if I never played another one. But Witcher
Yeah.
4 to me is the one where it's like, I need to play this game, dude. Like, Witcher 3 is one of my all-time favorite games, and I love where I think they're trying to go with Witcher 4. So that's my pick too. All right, another host question, guys. This one's kind of similar in a way, but you get kidnapped and you have a gun to your head. The robber says, or I guess the kidnapper says, you have to choose one of these studios to poof from existence, and you never got to experience their games. Which are you choosing to poof and why? And your options are Bungie, which seems like the easy answer, except we're talking you never got to experience Halo or Destiny, Ryan. CD Projekt Red, which means you never got to experience Witcher or Cyberpunk, or Rockstar, which means you never got to experience Red Dead or Grand Theft Auto.
One is poofed, or you keep one
You're
and the other two
poofing
are
one
poofed?
from existence, but that also means that you do not have your memories of ever playing those games either.
Oh, well, that's an easy one for me. I've never played Witcher or Cyberpunk, so CD Projekt Red can
John,
go away.
I want you to come back in a year and you're going to be like, guys, that was the worst choice ever. That was the worst choice
I'll
ever.
tell you, like Bungie, some of my fondest gaming memories ever were LAN parties with Halo 2 and Halo 3, and I wouldn't sacrifice those for anything.
I get that. And that's why this question's tough, right? Because it is like you're losing all those memories associated with it too. Ryan, what about you?
So to me, I believe this is clearly like a two-man race. Rockstar is leaps and bounds above everything, in my opinion. So, you know, I could never get rid of Red Dead. So it'd be between Bungie and CD Projekt Red. And I feel Witcher and Cyberpunk are two of the best solo, like, single-player gaming experiences ever in all of gamedom. And so having said that, I think Bungie is just the one that, as much as I love Halo, as much as I was part of that youth,
I know you were.
I was in that youth where I grew up with the OG Xbox, where you had to have them together with LANs and other extra big old bulky TVs, and I was part of all of that, and I have the greatest memories. But I think of overall just enjoyability of the games and the gameplay and stuff, I'd have to get rid of Bungie.
Wow.
And I have 1,700 hours in Destiny. because I'm
No,
just dumb.
I get that. Yeah, like again, for me, Bungie is Halo. Basically,
Yeah.
I didn't have the same relationship with Destiny, and so it's like really what I'm talking about is these other two studios or Halo specifically.
Yeah.
And if you weren't really into Halo, then it would be an easy choice.
I'm with John on the Halo memories. I'm not giving those up. Like, believe it or not, same with you, Ryan. That time of life.
Sorry,
where I was playing
Rockstar,
Halos,
you're gone.
It is Rockstar.
Yep,
for
I
me.
knew it.
I know.
Wow.
And guys, that sounds crazy, but like they just
They just
Rockstar.
make $1 billion games.
Dude,
Oh,
they make
no.
some of the best games ever, but they're not as like, I don't know, man. They just
What?
don't,
They're not as
I don't
what?
Know. I don't know. I don't have the memories, like the incredibly fond memories of like playing GTA. Red Dead's a different story, but I don't know, man. I would actually poof Rockstar.
I totally agree with your positioning on this in that I've played every GTA game and done a really solid job of completing most of them, but they are more like Mission Impossible movies to me. Where like when I'm watching a Mission Impossible movie, I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. Look at all the stunts. This is really fun. But it just I don't feel anything about it afterwards.
Yeah.
Having those poof from my memory wouldn't be like such a big hit.
Red Dead, it's funny because Red Dead is really the struggle. GTA is kind of like, dude, they're amazing games, but I just don't. It's fine. It's like my life without GTA is not impacted. Like
GTA 3 is like PlayStation for me. Because that was the first jump from GTA 2 where it's like 3D and you're in the rain and you're in the construction zone when he first loads in, and oh my gosh, dude.
I know. I'll take Witcher and Cyberpunk over Red Dead and GTA 10 out of 10
I don't blame you,
times
man.
is
I
the
don't blame
issue.
you.
But the Halo memories are what I can't lose, dude.
Yeah.
That time with buddies and stuff was amazing. All right. Quick fire on this one, guys, because we have one more question after this that we got to get to. So which of these would you rather do? Drive a Formula One race car on a racetrack for 50 laps, so you really get to just get into it, scuba dive with blue whales, or summit Mount Everest? Now, this is assuming that you don't have like the risk of death and the hassle of getting up to the top and all that stuff. Like you get the experience. It's going to go great. Which one would you prefer?
For me, it'd be the blue whales. I wanted to be a marine biologist when I was growing up, and I've seen blue whales in real life on whale watching tours, but like being able to actually scuba dive and like be down there with them, that's a no-brainer for me.
Ryan, what about you?
I'm basically going off of availability of what I could actually do if I just didn't have a magic wand. Because scuba dive with the whale, I'm sure you could pay to do stuff like that. And then Mount Everest, go find yourself a Sherpa, and you could climb it if you really want. But the chances that I'm going to get to do like 50 laps in a Formula One and go 230 miles an hour, like they're next to zero. So that's what I'm going to take.
Dude, you can totally do that. Like in Washington State at the Evergreen Speedway, you can do that. You can
in a Formula One race car.
I know they rent like Lambos and stuff. We have that in Phoenix, but
yeah,
Formula One's
might not be
different.
a Formula One car, but
Formula One's way different.
I'm sure very close.
It's faster than my truck.
It's very close. That you can actually do that. There's services where you can go drive Formula One cars for as many laps as you want.
I'm thinking to let it open. Like they're not going to let me go 200 miles an hour.
Ryan's just going to crash the car.
Oh,
like,
of course.
He's
No,
putting
for
it into
sure.
the wall.
Yeah, I'm putting it into the wall for sure on like lap 3 because I'm gonna be like, oh, I got this, and I'm gonna step into it, and then kaboom, but it'll be good.
I kind of, it's weird. I thought Ryan might actually go just for the adrenaline, just for the rush. I'm taking the blue whales. I have been scuba diving. I worked with dolphins, but man, give me scuba diving with blue whales. That's such a memorable experience.
If it was only one that I could ever do, then I would pick the whales too. Like
Yeah.
if I had to get rid of the others.
It's odd to me that you think that driving a Formula One car is the more rare experience or the more like rare
any
thing
vacation spot you can go in
than climbing Mount Everest.
Dude, you fly over there and find yourself a Sherpa, and then you're good to go. Just go up the mountain.
Oh,
it's just gonna be cold and miserable. The Mount Everest summit's more to be like I did this, but I don't know that the memory would register. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. All right, Guys, we got to end any side quest with a food question, and this one comes in from our good friend Jigglepuff. What food truck are you hitting if you're in a place with all of them? And they gave the kind of categories of barbecue, tacos, burritos, burgers, etc. So all the food trucks out there, you get to take your pick, but you only get to go to one. Which one are you going to,
Okay,
boys?
so unlike these other questions where there's like some matter of preference or interpretation, this one has a correct answer. And that,
oh, is that so?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the Mexican food truck. That is the only right answer to this. Like any other one, you might like get lucky and have some good food there, or you might have some bad food. What you're probably going to get now is overpriced okay food. Mexican food truck food is the best Mexican food there is. It's reliable, greasy as heck, and terrible. You know, you're chopping years off your life, but it is awesome, man. I don't know if you've ever had a chicken quesadilla from a taco truck. Oh my gosh, get out of here. That is the best.
I don't even go to trucks, dude. I work in the trades and a lot of construction sites, dude. Some of the best food I've ever had in my life was from a little old Mexican lady in the back of a van.
Dude, heck
selling it out of a cooler.
Man.
Oh, it was
Selling
amazing. I was
cooler.
like, this is either going to be amazing or I'm going to die, and it's $7. Here we
With
go.
Mexican food, the sketchier it is, the better it is. 100%.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm with John on this one because even like okay Mexican food is still better than most other foods.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
And you really see how bad Mexican food is in other states, though. I went to Colorado and I'm like, oh my God, this stuff is crap. But people that know what they're doing, like it's far superior than like, I'm not a big burger guy, so like a burger or anything like that. But
Same.
man, yeah, it's Mexican food. Give me a taco or a chimichanga. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You guys are crazy. It's like,
What do you think? There's no other right answer to this.
I'm really hungry right now. Like barbecue sounds really good because I'm kind of in the mood for barbecue.
Is my favorite food, but you want to be
get a
buying
food
barbecue
truck that gives
off
you like a brisket quesadilla. Like how about that, right? Where it's like fusion now.
I want to see the smoker though. Like when I'm going to get barbecue, I want to see what they're smoking the meat in. And
the right answer on this is the Mexican.
Yeah.
I will say this. I don't frequent a lot of food trucks, but we did go to some festival. It was many years ago, and there were some food trucks, and I was really hungry, and I went up to this one, and it was actually fusion. I don't remember what the fusion was, but I got these fried chicken tacos.
Ooh,
that had like spicy coleslaw on them or something.
Yum.
Bro, those are some of the best things I have ever eaten in my life, dude.
Yum.
I wish I knew what food truck name that was because I would go hunt them down. But yes, I mean, it's like you guys said, you're rolling the dice. This is the only problem with this, man, is like, you better know that it's a good food truck. Cause if it's not, and you roll them dice and you're like, right by my work, there was a dude sitting out, they're building an apartment complex near it. And he sat out there every day selling burritos out of the back of a cooler out of his car. And I'm just like, either this guy is going to give people salmonella and like food poisoning, or these burritos are probably the best freaking burritos you've ever had. And I drove by 100 times, and every time I went, I should get one of those burritos. Yeah. But then I went, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know.
Get it out, man.
How good were those pocket tacos I gave you? Remember?
Dude, those things were legit. Dude.
Okay, for the story, we did fan fusion.
Wrapped up in paper towels, man.
Because of the tinfoil would have set off the metal detector. We already established this.
Man.
I snuck Josh in street tacos from a vendor into fan fusion because you can't bring food in. And so I wrapped them in paper towels because we couldn't do the tinfoil. And I snuck them in, and they were amazing.
Dude, they were amazing.
And they were $2.50 a pop.
Yeah, that was cheap too.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. That is the right answer. Burgers are like my preferred food, where give me some fancy burger. But if it's a food, you can only make a burger so good, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and like, but man, the surprises. Fun story. We got to go. But like, bro, when I first moved here, I was working for Progressive, and I went to a shop, and no lie, it was somebody else's territory. So I didn't know this guy. I pull up at lunchtime. This this little Mexican dude is sitting out there with his wife that worked at the shop, and his wife is literally grinding chipotle peppers in like a mortar and pestle bowl. And the guy was like super nice. He invited me to stay for lunch. I'm like, no, I can't. That's against my company rules. I can't like accept things from shops. And he's like, bro, we're having tacos, man. My wife's making it. You don't want to upset her. And I was like, fine. Best taco I ever had in my life, dude.
Yep.
I mean, fresh ground chipotle salsa on that thing. The dude was grilling the meat on the grill. I just moved to Arizona, so I didn't know what good Mexican food was. This dude gives me a taco, and it was just like the angels started singing, dude. The sky opened up, and I was just like, oh my goodness, man. So
love it.
All right. Well, now I'm hungry, so that's why we always end on these food questions, boys.
Now we can go eat.
Yeah. So, hey, listen, thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. We love these side quest episodes. It's really fun to just kind of chat games sometimes and just kind of go all over the place. So, let us know what you would do to the answer on some of these questions. Click the link in our episode description. It's going to say join our community. That's for our Discord server. Come and tell us what you would pick out of these food truck options or these developer options and which one you would get rid of. If you enjoy this podcast, if you've been a listener for a long time, we just revamped all of our perks on Patreon. We are really trying to hook people up for supporting the show and doing a lot of really cool things. So please take a second to check those out. There's a link in the episode description there as well that says support the show. It takes just a few minutes to sign up, but it's what keeps this podcast going. We couldn't do this without the support of everybody. So if you've been getting entertainment and joy out of this, think about supporting it in return. And don't forget to leave us a review, rate us 5 stars. That helps other people when they're looking for a good podcast to know that, hey, this one's probably worth checking out. That's going to do it for this one, everybody. Until next time, happy gaming.
See ya.
Toodles.